Foreman.
Here.
McCreary.
Present.
Phillips.
Here.
Okay. Can I get approval for the minutes from the previous meeting?
I'd like to
April
approve the
3rd?
amendments as written.
I'll second.
Roll call?
McCreary.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes. Okay, visitors, you got anything for Finance Committee? Okay. Well, we need to annex some of these properties that are set to be annexed, because some of those will bring a gas tax and income tax and some other things. So I think we're working on that. Okay, goals is to keep spending within appropriations, which is the ongoing goal of the Finance Committee. Do we have any old business? Any new business? Okay, Brian, moving right into your financial reports.
So last month we ended up with a balance of $2,649,986.04. Consisted of $2,065,000 in the checking account and $615,000 in Star Ohio. And that's
700,000 of that is the cemetery money, correct? I ask you that every time, but I want to
out
hear
of the
it.
2 million. Yeah, 700,000. That,
Okay.
yes. We had outstanding checks of 33,000. And of course, 2 deposits to transit for the credit card transactions that occurred last day of the month, for people's water and sewer bills. So that's pretty much it for the reconciliation.
Anybody have any questions on that?
Nope. Moving on
No.
to the
Moving on to,
Excuse me.
the check register. Last month we wrote $368,618 worth of checks last month. And I don't know if you have any questions on some of them. I don't know. Any questions on the checks written?
No.
Do we have to pay the federal government, Brian?
Yes, we have to pay the federal
Okay.
government.
Just asking. Just asking.
I guess some of the bigger expenses last month was, well, that's normal, 21,000 to PRS for retirement, employees retirement. About 33,000 to V3. That's for the Wellfield and Southeast
Lift station.
East.
are they
East side.
overseeing the installation of these utilities going in out here on east of town?
Yes, they will.
Because really, that's a lot more important than looking at somebody's single-family house. We're responsible.
So they have we'll hire a contractor that will come in and inspect all the infrastructure that's going in when it's going in, and then the developer pays for that.
Okay.
So it's no cost to us. We just
We like
oversee it.
going in. I mean, I see water lines. I see.
Yeah,
storm
I don't
sewer
think
lines.
that, he'll be here tonight. We can ask him that, but I don't think, I think the first development isn't going in yet, but
Like
continue.
D.R. Horton's got
Well, yeah.
water lines
Yeah.
laying out
Yeah.
there and storm sewer lines.
Till we've had that in, V3s come out when they're doing work
Yeah,
and inspecting that themselves.
yeah.
Okay. And do we know where the stormwater discharges out here are going? I guess this might be more service meeting related, but I guess I didn't see anything in here where we're paying a contractor or anybody to do that work, and I just want to make sure it's getting done.
Are you talking about the drainage pipe that Catunia's going to run through his property?
I'm talking about all these developments have to retain their stormwater and have to discharge it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mr. Kenny would like to know where that somewhere is.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that, Mr. Coutinho, since you're standing right there?
All the development that we're doing is, including DDC, is all gonna go to the creek. We need the easement through,
Mr. Price?
so it's all outside and eventually all that goes to the
Okay.
Then we had
Go on, Brian.
35,000 to Jacobs Engineering for the Jacobs study. South Central was higher this last month. So,
South Central was for the security lights that,
no, South Central is the
Sewer
wastewater plant.
oh, I'm sorry, okay. Okay, sorry.
AEP's lights.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's pretty much it for the payment list. Unless you have any other questions on anything. Okay, moving on to the metrics or finance report. Star How interest was $1,915 last month. We received $108,609 from Rita. And I think the appropriation status, I think we're supposed to be at, let's see, 25. I think 34% is where the cutoff is this month. And we're still, and we, as you can see there, we've received our first wave of property tax money last month. We budgeted 131. I think we collected 70 some thousand. Property tax allocation, that comes from the state, and that we just received that last week, so that'll change next month.
That'll be in May.
Yeah, that'll be in May's.
Okay.
Then you get your appropriations report. Like I said, 34% is where we should be. That's all I have for the monthly financials. Unless there's any questions.
I do not have any questions.
Categorically, what's legislative activities?
That would be council.
Okay.
Attorney's fees.
Mainly attorney's fees, developer fees we pay that we get reimbursed for when it comes out of there.
I was curious when I saw that. Are we anticipating some reimbursement on some of what's showing under now, or?
Oh yeah, we've already got reimbursed on most of it.
Okay. As I saw, we're well above the 33. I was just wondering if we still have some reimbursements due.
Yeah, we still have some reimbursements due on that. Also comes out, council, the ordinances I sent them in to be codified in January, and I budgeted, I think I tabulated a PO for $7,500 for that. But they're still, I reached out to them about, because I sent it back in January, what's the status? Because here it is in May and we still haven't heard anything, and they said this is our busy time of the year. They're still working on it. I'm like, okay, so I need to know.
Could I get a motion to approve the financial report that's presented?
Make a motion, we approve.
A second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Phillips,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes. Okay, our next meeting is June the 8th at 6 p.m. Nothing else till then. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You ready, Brian?
Not yet. Well, there we go. Okay.
Service Committee is now in order. Can I get a roll call?
Phillips.
Here.
Foreman.
Here.
McLean.
Here. Everybody's here. We got a couple visitors. Anybody want to address the service committee?
Yes, Jim, what are you gonna talk about? Jim, continue this.
I don't know who I wanna.
What are you gonna be talking about?
Probably this right here. Development on the east side, it sounds like.
I have a whole list of things.
Can you turn the microphone on?
When to address and when to bring it up, but Jim, continue on developing out east here. I have a few projects going in. So I don't know who to ask or comment with which, but I'm sure you're all in the next meeting too, right?
Yeah.
I'll just go start at the top and you guys, micro, you guys are all aware of that. We definitely want to stop that.
I'm planning on
We're
attending.
gonna do all we can.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not in our wheelhouse. It's not,
Right.
but I mean, I feel like we're gonna at least go be
So
here.
I
We're
would
gonna
just-
talk about that with all of council in our council meeting too, because some of them don't even know about it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna explain it,
Move on.
why and what we're doing. Yep.
Annexation, do we know, is that next meeting? Should I
No,
ask?
we have more time in service and it's a
Yeah.
little less formal, so there's no reason not to talk about it
Okay.
here. If council needs to take any action, you can stick
Yeah.
around and see if
Well, I
we
know
can do
we're
that.
waiting on Loney's and then the corner, I don't know why we don't have that annexed yet, but we should be on that.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up when I was talking about, if we can get to the corner, we can start receiving income tax from the bank and the Dairy Queen and Circle K, and we can start receiving the tax revenue from Circle K as well, which would probably double our,
I have a draft of a pre-annexation agreement for that corner,
Okay.
but it hasn't been circulated yet, so,
It's already in a pre-annexation agreement.
no, not that. Not on the very corner it isn't. Your parcels are, that you have involvement in, but not the southwest corner of that intersection.
it has, I was gonna say it's like Sackus and the hay company, like they agreed to annex in exchange for sewer service. So I think that's what you're talking about, isn't it, Mr. Coutinho?
Well, that's part, but
they
I'm
got
all-
free
I'm going
sewer.
all the way to 37.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about
So
too.
he says southwest, what am I missing?
They already agreed to annex when we gave them sewer service.
Right. I think Jim's talking about the parcel at the corner of 256 and 37.
That land is owned.
That land is
Yeah.
currently owns, correct?
And that's
Yeah.
the one that has the agreement to get sewer service and water service.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
But-
already signed.
So you already bought it?
No,
No, but I'll get Landis to sign off on it.
yeah.
I mean, we could have done this 6 months ago too.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the Klamath went, which is already annexed, that opened it to everything.
We didn't reach it until Lona is an annex though, do we? I don't
It's
think
not
we,
annexed
I don't
yet.
think we're contiguous with the corner property until.
However, we got
Lona's
Klamath in. Klamath's touched.
Oh, yeah, we went all the way to Clampitt with the railroad tracks, so yeah, we could have annexed it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, but that's across the street though,
That's-
isn't it?
But it
that
touches.
doesn't- It touches. The street doesn't stop you from annexing, they're still contiguous.
Yeah,
Do we have an agreement with Mr. Landis already on that
that's
property?
Klamath. Yep.
Well, we have a, no, not a pre-annexation agreement.
There is an agreement to annex, but there isn't the official
Right.
document that starts the process.
That's.
And that's what we
Well,
need
and
to get
Landis-
done with Sackus and Needs Farms and
Yeah.
the trailer company and Landis, and that way we can start receiving the revenue from
Right.
Farm
And-
Credit.
And the
Dairy
same with the
Queen, Circle K.
Circle K too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Circle K is gonna be income tax and gas tax.
I think Landis
Yeah, he'll sign.
he'll sign for sure.
yeah, I already talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we
So-
know we need to do that.
Let's get on it.
All right, yes, sir.
I don't know if you guys all saw the solar light, but I guess the first one wasn't working.
Well, the first one wasn't working, but I will tell you this, and I even said something to you last week.
Yeah.
The solar light that's out here now is actually working really good. When we left here 2 weeks ago on a Monday, it was bright. And it went off in the morning because I made sure I came this way at 7:30. That's something we should definitely talk about because there's no bill to that.
And the technology's there.
Yeah, the
Wasn't 10
technology's
years
there.
ago, but it is
Yeah,
now.
and I'm telling you, The first one that put up, maybe we just got a bad light or something. I don't know.
I'd like to get it back so I can either return it.
Okay.
Or try it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or maybe
Tim
we'll just
should be
buy.
getting it back
Yeah.
to me. So.
Well, and I'll get with Tim on that because that light that's out there now is a good light. In
So
fact,
what they do, like, that's not high traffic. So the high traffic, if it's going on and off all night long, it actually reduce power to like 20% or 30%. So it keeps a little bit of light.
right.
When nothing's moving.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, it was
Well-
super bright at 9 o'clock when I left here last time.
Right.
And I'm all. I don't know about the other ones. We'll have to talk about it, but I'm all for it because it's.
Yeah, most of the good ones are motion activated, where they go down to like 20%. And when a car's coming by, as it starts to come into range, it goes up.
It'll just save us so much money on an electric bill.
Pedestrian or anything, yes.
Yeah, which
Yes.
really helps with light pollution, things like that too. It's not
Yes.
a bad thing.
Matt, we should
Building
take notes on
department.
that.
This
Yeah,
is
I am.
not the time to get rid of a building department.
Well, we're going to work on that. We're going to.
You got a couple.
We have a couple options, and we're going to talk about that in council.
Could you elaborate, please?
Well, you got Miranda Homes coming up here. I don't know if you want the most shitty houses in the state to be built right here. And if you let them cut corners, they're cutting corners. So, I mean, you can't not allow them to build here, but you definitely can keep them up to like some building code.
The building codes would apply whether there's a building department or not.
Well, no, but there's nobody to inspect
If
it when
there's
they're
no one
building it.
inspecting them,
No one
Yeah, I mean,
enforces
Yeah,
it.
when they go to sell the homes,
it don't matter. You're not
the mortgage
seeing-
company requires,
An inspection.
A home
You go
inspection.
in and measure the amount of insulation in the wall.
if it was wrong, I could sue them. And that's the way the justice
This is
system
a builder
works.
telling
Here's
us.
the thing. We said we wanted to hear from a builder. Let's
Yeah.
let the man
Yeah,
talk.
I'm telling you right
I'm not
now.
stopping you.
We're not
Well-
allowed to ask
Yeah.
questions?
Well,
No,
Yeah.
I think so, but you guys have been all adamant about
Well,
it. So
before
let's
we
hear
even
from
brought it
someone.
up, we presented options
Good.
other than.
Yeah, and I
safe
think we're
buildings.
working
So-
on those options.
If I can just say, whether it's now or in old business and service, I do have some updated information that I think would be helpful to the discussion.
Okay.
Okay. And honestly, I think now's better because we're going to get into this situation where we're sitting around here for 30 minutes with nothing to do, like happens every week. There's
Okay.
no use pushing all this to council. If council needs to take action,
Yeah.
then that's different. That has to go to council.
Can I share now?
We
or
can
do you-
talk about any of this
Well-
stuff right here.
Before we kind of skipped over approval of the minutes. So can we
Okay,
get
let's
this-
approve the minutes.
Can we do that first?
Can we get approval for the minutes?
I mean, that was supposed to be before visitors, wasn't it?
I motion that,
Can we get approval for the minutes?
I motion that we approve the amendment.
4 seconds.
McLean,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Okay, now proceed. Now proceed. On.
Okay.
I'm Jim. Continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, let's just
Would you
do
wanna
it.
Yeah, go right
now?
ahead. Right
I
now's
feel
the
like
time.
we need
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bob Jude, it just so happened we had a meeting last week with Bob Jude. He's having a new build up on Cliff Street. So he was in meeting with Tim and I, and he was asking some questions about the building department and just timing with his project. And he was a little bit frustrated, and he might even be here tonight. I don't know. He said he might. In that meeting, he made the same statement that Jim Camp has made before about how we have options to do new build only. Now, I will say I have probably been on the phone at least once a week with the Board of Building Standards since the issue came back up in
That's-
January, and I have asked if we can, if we have a new build only option, and I've been told repeatedly no. So when I called after meeting with Bob, I called. What does it hurt to call again?
Yeah.
So I called again and asked about that option. I was told no on the phone. And I said, could I send you my 3 questions that I just asked, and you could reply to them so that I
In
have it
writing.
in writing? And so Friday, I come into the office. Here's my question in the email response. Here's my question. Can a certified building department require permits only for new residential construction and not for other areas of permitting? The reply I got was yes.
In writing.
I wanted to, anyway, pound my head against the wall. It says, and this, so she goes on, it says, a recent law change now permits, and that law change is based on 2025 state budget bill, and it just became effective late last year. So she continues, a recent law change now permits the local residential building department to be certified for new construction only or new construction and alterations, which is what we are right now. All current certified residential building departments are grandfathered to enforce the Residential Code of Ohio as they are currently doing as new construction and alterations. If Baltimore is interested in modifying its certification to new construction only, it would need to submit the request through our online portal, and then she gives the name of the person who oversees certification and education. So I reached out to the person who oversees certification and education today. I'm waiting to hear back. I asked if we could set up a team meetings with her. I'd like Mr. Faco to be a part of that and just investigate what that process looks like. And there's also, because of the newness of the law, there's also some questions of like, what does new construction mean? Is it just ground up new construction, or is it a certain square footage building addition? So there's some questions personally that I would have about that, and I think there's still some questions at the state level about what that looks like. But when I saw that, I thought that that was appropriate to the conversations that we've been having. I wanted to share that with the Pool Service Committee and Council.
So I guess what that means is that we need to figure that out, and we need a building. We got to have somebody inspecting these houses.
Yeah.
I mean, are we all in agreement on that?
No.
So you don't think we should have a building inspector for building these houses?
Not our own.
Well, we had Safe built, and they weren't our own, and we voted them out.
I don't have any concerns that these building companies that they plan the homes to standards that are based on the code, that they're not attempting to follow the code, and then everything else is on the person who's buying it. If you try to buy or sell, there's already a check on that, and you should have it inspected.
See, to me, it makes no sense to let somebody come in here and build houses, and I don't care if it's 350 to 500,000.
Yep.
And if I'm the neighbor and there's no inspections on these houses, what are we getting? I mean, I feel like there's got to be some accountability. And 2 of the 3 developers said you need a building inspection. I mean, the developers are saying that, not I mean, if they're saying that, there's got to be something.
They're saying that because it's easy for them to comply with, because they have all the staff in-house to deal with all of those things. But when you take somebody that buys an old house and wants to fix it up, and to have to go through the whole architectural process and plan the whole thing out in advance and meet all those requirements with a 100-year-old house, you're going to start blocking people even fixing up these old houses because the
Agreed.
cost is too high.
But that's why
There's more of
So,
those
so,
in the new houses.
so when we start talking about this new construction thing, you're shifting my position on this, okay?
Okay.
And I did also bring forth someone to do inspections to find a middle ground.
right.
So
Well, and I think
I'm looking for a middle ground
I
here.
think
I'm
there's
not looking
still-
for a no oversight.
right. I think there is some middle ground, but we got to get what the specifications are through the state. If a new law passed and we can do new builds only, we should be doing new builds. If it doesn't cost the village anything, I mean, there has to be some accountability
You really
for
should
somebody.
be making money off that, because you're gonna have 250 inspections a year, and in the building permit, you charge for each inspection more than what it costs you.
Well, when we were with Safe Bill, we were breaking even, and that was when we talked initially about who we brought on or what we brought on. That was kind of the goal, I think. At least that was the goal at the time with council.
Yeah.
Was
'Cause
to
we
not
didn't wanna
no out of
overtax
pocket money.
The home inspectors the banks hire, it's a visual.
Well,
You don't see the footers. You
Yeah.
don't see
Exactly.
inside. Right.
yeah, they're
Right.
just making sure you've already done
Right.
that part so they can release the draw up to that percentage. That's all they're looking at.
Matt, does the state offer anything besides advice?
Well, the state offers certification, and the state offers inspectors to be certified, but they would not. For residential, they don't offer any kind of inspection services, and some counties do. So if a
Our county does not.
But
though.
our county does
I
not.
call
Well,
them.
actually,
Well,
plumbing
plumbing.
they do.
Yeah,
The health
plumbing they do.
department does the plumbing inspection.
Yeah.
So that's gonna happen in every house no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I was to buy a house in one of these new construction areas and there's no inspection taking place, but the code still exists, I could hire my own building inspector and pay a home inspector whatever their fee is. And there's plenty here in the Baltimore area that I'm aware of. Would I be paying less for that than I would be to, if we were to continue with the safe built, which I know we're not, but I was looking at those fees that we're charging, and I know, sir, you said, we should be making money on this. I would disagree. I don't want to make money off of our residents or future residents.
You're making it off the builder.
Then the builder's going to pass it on to the resident.
They do.
I mean,
But
these are
most of those home
these are
inspectors
our
aren't
citizens.
structural inspectors.
I'm sorry, say again?
They're not structural inspectors, so it's more of a visual what you're talking about.
But
You can hire somebody.
Could,
Yes.
and probably
Yes.
pay a lot less than what the village
I don't
would.
know if you pay
fees
less,
that the
but
village-
a lot of these
This is not
houses are
about you. This
specs.
is not about you, and this is not about a first-time home buyer out here. This is about 5 years down the road when the shoddy construction starts to show at that point, and then it's the second buyer that has the
2
problem.
years.
How about those residents?
It'll start showing up in 2 years.
Well, I mean, they're residents.
I don't know what evidence you have saying that this will happen. Like how? I mean, you're saying that.
There's your expert
But
right
you're
there.
Shoddy homes get built in communities that has full-blown building inspections. I can tell you that firsthand.
All right,
True.
I have to talk.
So
I
what's
have to
the what's the remedy for that? Wouldn't it be to sue the builder?
You're not going to.
I had a close friend that had an MI showcase home that had multiple defects in New Albany. And she was working with working with MI, couldn't make any progress at all. Her entire attic was filled with mold because they didn't do the ventilation correctly. Her stairs weren't all the same height on the riser. These are easy things to catch by any building inspector. And all of this happened in New Albany, MI Showcase, not Miranda.
Yeah.
And
Mine's a
she
good
was
builder.
having no luck with Showcase at all. I said, well, what you need to do is walk down to that New Albany building department and tell them you're going to sue them because they were doing all these inspections to keep this from happening, and they obviously didn't. And about a week later, they said, you can pick any of those houses right there. We're going to move all your stuff. And they took her house back, redid it all, and sold it. So it doesn't necessarily prevent shoddy construction
Well,
at
then
all.
let's just chuck it off.
Well,
Well, if we
I've
had a-
been looking for a middle ground the whole time, so don't
Well,
be that way.
I feel like we do need to find a middle ground. I think
Yeah.
we're all in agreement on that. I think you have to get the more information before we can come up with.
And it's not
Middle ground.
always the builder. It's the sub that the builder done beat
Correct.
up, so he's in there trying to cut a corner.
And the builder
you know?
should be checking their work, but
He
there's too
should,
much
but they're
going
building
on.
70
Yeah.
houses.
Inspector, which I'm 100% for, but they need to come out. They don't need to do a phone.
No, I agree with you on that.
Well,
Absolutely.
well,
On the ground.
Safe Built was going to do a phone thing, yeah.
Well,
Was going to do phone.
In just fairness to that, and I'm not married to Safe Built, so whatever, but they gave that to us as an option that we did not have to take if we didn't want to.
Right.
Why don't you share more information on the meeting, the team's meeting, not to interrupt your flow.
No, you're fine.
But the team's meeting with regard to Safe Built, and share the
Yeah.
updates, with, committee members and council members.
Sure. So Jeff and I had a Teams meeting today with Safe Built, just to discuss offboarding and what that looks like and what the process is. And they said that we have of course several options. Option number one, they said is right now we have a contract with them in the sense that they're gonna work for us and we're gonna use them, but they were a la carte. So we only paid for what we used, and so their statement is we certainly can terminate the contract, but we wouldn't have to, and we could put them as a backup or as a second. So according to the state building standards, if we have a chief building officer, we also need a backup or a second. And so they said in a lot of communities, what they do is they serve as that backup. Sometimes it goes months or years without them being used. But if the building inspector, if the building inspector would go on a vacation, get sick, if they get overwhelmed, if it's project specific, we could call up, not have to redo a whole contract with them, but we would just pay for what we use. So they did say that that is an option. If we did that, we would also be allowed to keep the community core online portal that we've been using for free. So that isn't something that we pay for now, and it isn't something that we would pay for then. So it would be if you chose to keep the building department, and it could be just a seamless transition. Well, mostly seamless, to be able to use that. People could still go on, do whatever permitting on there that they need to do, pay through that portal as well. The other option was, of course, and that's a total offboarding, and that's a 90-day phasing out. They said if that's the decision that council makes, we would need to reach out to the state of Ohio and inform them that that contract has been terminated. Their recommendation was that it would probably be, even if we don't do active permitting through them, if we kept them as our chief building officer for the moment until we found somebody else, because once we would terminate with them and they're no longer the building inspector, then we're now out of compliance, and that's obviously not what the state wants. What we could do then is internally we could discuss whatever parameters we wanted to do going forward with the permitting process. So if we gave them a 90-day, we could say the ones that we already have in the pipeline, we're going to see to completion. We could say we're just going to stop all of it, and we could reimburse. I mean, they didn't say reimburse, but we could reimburse those that have not completed that process. We could go the full 90 days and use them, and then when that, or we could use them for a month and say that the active date's going to be, I don't know.
Well, I think what we need to
June
do
1.
is figure out what we're going to do, whether.
But the thing that they kept coming back to is that the state is not going to be excited about there being a gap in service if we terminate with them and don't
have something
continue
else
the
going on.
certified building department and don't have somebody. And that's what got us, not in trouble, but that's what got us in hot water when I first came on and we got the call from the state that said, what are you guys doing? They had dropped the ball too, which gave us a lot more time than what we usually would. The state had dropped the ball on their enforcement mechanism, and they admitted that. And so they were willing to work with us then to get a new chief building officer, Safe Built in this case. I don't know what the turnaround time period would be, or what the implications would be. I've been hesitant to call the state just to say it because I wasn't sure because the ordinance was coming up and hasn't been voted on. I didn't want to just, if something changed or the opinion changed, I didn't want to let the, yep.
If we did choose to terminate the contract with Safe Built and decertify, those actions would need to be in alignment so that we're not out of compliance with the state. The timing of doing them would be
Correct.
okay.
Yeah, and my concern is about becoming decertified is with these new certification laws that just recently went into effect, were grandfathered in. So if council decides, well, wait a minute here, let's keep our building department, but only use it for certain purposes like new builds, new construction, maybe additions, even though they haven't worked out all of the definitions of what a new construction is yet. But we're grandfathered in, meaning that we don't have to go through any kind of recertification process. If we lose our certification, we risk not having that option available to say, okay, we'll still keep our building department, but only for specified uses.
I think we could, if it was decertified, we could come back at any time and say we're going to do a certification with new build only,
I'm not certain about that.
and I could ask about that.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
see the
certain
value
about
to the grandfather.
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
and
because they specifically mentioned the grandfather.
I think, and
aspect.
I guess my understanding is that if we decertified, and then we'd have to go through the whole process all over again. Whereas right now, we could just make some
We can go
adjustments.
online and
Yeah.
ask for a modification to our certification.
Yes, exactly.
I'm certainly interested myself in the new construction only alternative. I would love to hear more information about that.
I can look into that.
Yeah,
further.
I'm willing to pause any movement until we can look at the new build certification.
Okay.
I think that's what we need to
Yeah.
do.
I'll make sure that
Yeah.
meeting is
I
set up.
just think you need somebody out there to keep these builders on their toes.
I agree.
I mean, all their plans are up to code because they use the same plan around the city.
Right.
But getting the subs that are, you know what the
But
subs are like.
Miranda builds a low-end house wherever they build it,
Yes, and they cut as many
including
corners
here
as they can.
and everywhere
Right.
else they already exist.
Right. So, yeah, and MI should be a better builder, but like
Especially
I said, it's the
Showcase,
subs
but-
and right. It's just you know how it is. So
And Rick, you brought up a good point about the suing the village.
You do expose yourself. Now, in that case, New Albany didn't get sued because they basically called up Showcase and said, you're going to have a nightmare scenario if you don't fix this, basically. So New Albany basically made Showcase behave. So
and back in
fix
the
it.
day, we'd drop $100 and get our inspection. So just watch that don't happen either.
Right.
you know?
Yeah, that's not happening here.
Yeah, them days have gone away. So
All right, so we are in agreement that we have to do something.
I think we'd
And
all
we're
like
gonna-
to hear more about the new
from
only
Matt.
option.
So the next meeting we have, and we'll talk about that in the next council meeting.
One of the other things Safe Build mentioned too, and this could be self-serving in part, but one of the things they mentioned is don't eliminate your building department. They were pretty emphatic about that. I thought when we talked to them.
What spurred the state to contact anyway? If they said they dropped the ball,
We said we had a building department for many years, but we never had anybody operating it.
right?
So I think what happened is my understanding when we met with them is they had a change in leadership
Okay.
at the Board of Building Standards.
Okay.
And I think they were going down through the communities and they were highlighting the communities that weren't in compliance.
So they were doing their job finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't fault them for that.
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna look into it.
Yep.
The next council meeting, we'll have some resolution.
Yep.
And we can map something out, come up with a plan, and I think we're all in agreement that we need to come up with some sort
And
of
then
plan.
next council meeting, not service meeting.
Well,
or
I think we
service
should get on this.
It's a
as
council.
quick as
We can't.
can.
We don't want to wait a month
Yeah,
to
we
take the
don't wanna
next
wait
step.
Well, that's
Just
when the
that's
next
all I'm
meetings
saying.
are.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tonight's Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
we're going for a
So
month.
it's
Right.
gonna be a month no matter what.
Should we do a
So
special
next
meeting?
service.
Nah, I don't.
No?
Everything's still in place and Safe Built's still in place. There's no urgency to it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
put them on notice, but we
Yeah.
haven't formally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just leave it alone,
Yeah.
just the way it is now, till we figure out what we're gonna do. That's a good way of doing it for all of us. Ladies, you're good with that too?
No. I'm definitely in favor of it.
Yeah, and we'll figure it out. All right, well,
Wait a minute, I don't know if Jim was finished.
Yeah, I don't
yes,
think
I'm
you-
sorry.
Yeah, go on.
well, I want to just kind of talk about V3 with DDC, make sure, but I don't know if that's more of a one-on-one. And the NCA and the developers agreement, where we're at with that. If anybody's got any questions for me. I think you touched base with me on the developers agreement. You might have a draft tomorrow or something. Or,
Yeah, so the developer, the Bricker will have for us they'll have some documents prepared this week. We have a meeting. Do you have a meeting with them later this week? Thursday, and so we should have more information then.
It's being
So-
worked on, Jim.
So-
And they're expediting it as much as.
Since it's a month till our next meeting, are we able to send that agreement out to council? And if council has any questions, can do it by email or?
So I do know that because you had asked that question once before when we were meeting, we were going to meet with them initially. They were, of course, they'll do whatever we ask, but
Right.
they were a little concerned about us just sending out documentation just in an email. I don't know if that would be true of
We'll find out.
Thursday's document or not.
We can find out.
yeah, because it's going to go back and forth, and we really can't wait months.
Yeah.
We know we need to get that figured out
Yeah,
for
because-
everybody.
Can we confirm that V3's not doing the other lift station and they are tying into what we're waiting on
I'm sorry.
with
can-
V3? Because DDC got a signed set of plans with a lift station and a pump line to the last manhole on the road.
Yeah, I think as of now, they're separate. They're not tying
You
in.
don't want to do that.
I know. I think the issue that we've talked about is that when we signed off on plans, that was before that was
Yeah,
available
but
to
V3
us.
said, no, that's a good idea. Let me go back to them and let them know. It's
Yeah, I
gonna-
thought we had changed it to where we
Yeah.
were doing one lift
Well, but
station.
we had already signed the plans, but
it doesn't
And DDC didn't. DDC did not want to go that route, and I think if I remember right, the reason is with answering to their own investors, they didn't want to rely on another.
Problem is, now we're gonna be responsible for 2 lift stations instead of 1.
and you're going to abandon both.
But it's
We'll
a,
abandon
it's a
them
ten,
both.
I was going to say those are both temporary lift stations. They're not permanent lift stations, anyways. Correct?
Yeah, but it's going to cost you a lot of money.
I would
I'm
get a
gonna
hold of V3 and I'd get a hold of the boys at Dayton and just say we gotta. Not that's a priority.
Yeah, because they can tie in. I mean, I'm ready to go. Obviously, you see your structures, you see your pipes sitting down. That's all the off-site sanitary. It's already ordered. It's already sitting. So we literally could have this thing up and running, but I'm starting to get worried because it won't be long. They'll have services in the ground and want.
I would just tell them they need to come here. If they like soon.
Who's they?
DDC.
Comes to a
Yeah, comes
to
here.
a
Yes.
council meeting.
No,
And if they're
no,
willing
no,
to-
Before that.
Not the council meeting. Come
Listen,
here.
if they're willing to go ahead with their signed plans, why don't you just say, hey, instead of buying that lift station, buy the other one because we don't have an agreement. Like, why would you buy 2?
Yeah, we want. I mean, one is obviously better for the village for sure.
And
we're not buying either one of them.
No.
in the long run, you are.
Well, we're maintaining them.
And then
They're
you're
both
going to
getting
have
abandoned,
another
though,
one
right?
on prices.
Once the regional lift stations end, then those 2 go away.
Go away. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
I would get
sounds
a
like it
hold-
doesn't matter one way or the other to the village,
Right.
since they're both going away anyway.
Yeah, but it costs money to put those in. I mean,
That's their money.
I would get a hold of them and just see. I don't know why we can't combine those. I just don't. I was under the impression last time he was here that that was the way they were leaning.
Yeah.
to.
I think the last time they were here, I think their statement they were further ahead
They're not further
than
ahead.
Jim, and so their
Yeah.
statement was if we weren't so far ahead, we would consider it. And then Jim.
Then
kicked
we
it in
had
the
another
hyperdrive.
meeting, and
But I don't ever remember hearing them just
they
personally.
did agree with it.
I
They
think
said it
agreed
was
with the
better.
concept.
Yeah, they
And
said it
then
was
Mike
better
at
when we were all
V3
in
said,
here.
no, I'll make sure we get tied into that one.
I would get a hold of Mike
I'll
and then
talk
get
to
a hold of them. Yeah.
Like our last manhole is on the north side in that, whatever that lot is, that Landis owns next to their project.
Gotcha.
So we're already mapped out to that point, which is right there, so. I don't know. I'm here to answer any questions, but
We'll get
I just
on
hate
that.
us go down the wrong path and then you're spending a couple $100,000 later for something you could have prevented.
Do it right the first time.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, we'll get a hold of them because I was under the impression that they were gonna. With the last meeting that you were here and I was
They
here
were all
and
for
they
it.
were here, they were
The
all
one
for it.
before they said, ain't no way,
Right.
we're not getting held up with our investors.
Yeah.
And then
But
once
the
we
last
said,
one-
well, our plans are signed too, then
Right.
they're like, and Mike with V3 said, no, that needs to happen that
All right, I thought we were doing it
Yeah.
that way.
way. Right. But I'm getting worried now, and this agreements that we're working on is taking way too long to even get a first draft back. I mean, you guys hired
Bricker.
Well, we're just not capable of doing that. Just to be frank
no,
about
that's
it.
fine, but they were doing hundreds of them. They should already have us a draft or something. You know what I mean?
Well, they say they'll have it this week, so hopefully we have it this week. If we can follow up on that, that would be great.
My
Yep.
fingers crossed.
All right, any other visitors? Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
As a layman, don't know anything about plumbing or electric. I know I lived here for 83 years. And if somebody wanted to buy a house beside me that's 100 years old, and they're hiring somebody off the street to fix it, I hope they got somebody that does some kind of inspection. And I heard him talking in the last meeting when I was sitting here, and I heard him talking about how all these things are inspected before you build, like the bank. I worked for a bank for 40 years, never looked at anything. All they do is walk out and take a look and see how much is up on the roof, and okay, we're going to release this much money. That's all it is. There's no inspections done. So, and I imagine that's the way most of the other things are too.
It is.
So, I'm for keeping the company, I can tell you that.
Anybody else?
I'm John Daft. I'm a remodeling contractor. I have mixed feelings about all this. And as such, I work in 100-year-old homes. I think building inspectors are a pain in my butt. But I think that there are some points that Jim brought up. They see things in process. They see frame that you can't see otherwise on a home inspection. They see electrical. All these homes are going to be built to quote industry standards. But there's probably some good that comes from knowing that there is oversight on every step. Looking at footings, footing depth, stuff like that. The way I see it and the thoughts that rattle in my head, and I always go back to Bexley because I lived in Bexley for 15 years. These ordinances that you all make are tools that you put in your toolbox to be used and to be used at your discretion, like many laws. So, as I think of like the permeable surface issue, I think it's crappy if that's preventing someone from doing something that they need to do, but I think it needs to be looked at on a case by case. So,
Yes,
so
and I feel like that's what we're going to do.
in Bexley, technically speaking, you got to have a permit to re-roof your house. No one gets one because they're in and out in the day. You got to have a permit to paint your house. You got to. There's lots of things you technically need to have a permit
Right.
for, but that's not what they're going around hounding people for.
No. It's like having a permit for a hot water tank. We're not the hot water
Right,
tank.
so it can be on paper, but it's at discretion. I know
Right.
that's silly, but I mean, I bet jaywalking over to the Pine House is also illegal, but I doubt
It
there's a
happens
lot
every day.
Yeah, I doubt there's a lot of citations.
Driving 36 and a 35 is a speeding violation.
Right.
Our
These are my
cops
thoughts.
pretty strict.
Okay.
No, what's the answer on that?
If you want me to, I'll be glad to.
I never go to the Pine House, sir. So.
Like, want me to enforce all those little things?
No, he's saying.
No,
he's
no,
saying
I
he's
just-
saying
Where'd you park out here?
Could start before you leave.
I'm double parked. Yeah,
You can start right now, be careful which one.
I'm double parked by Brandy.
I'm not on the street.
Those are my
Okay.
thoughts. Thank you.
Sounds like we're like-minded.
Anyone else? All right. 2026 goals, 5-year plan for streets, 5-year plans for WTP, 5-year plan for WWTP, 5-year plan for storm and I&I, replacement of water lines 50 years or older, village alleys sent over by rules, review of round village alleys, review of West Bosel Street, review of round 2, or village alleys review east of Bosel Street. Reports, village departments.
Yeah, just a couple things I wanted to highlight. In the service department, you should have an attachment that was at your seat when you came in. You'll notice most of that is mowing and pool. The service team's been doing a great job getting grass mowed, picking that up, and as well as getting the pool ready. The pool's about 95% ready to go, both in the terms of maintenance as well as certifications for lifeguards, those kind of things. Brett McAvoy's done a good job getting the pool prepared, and we'll be ready to go Memorial Day weekend. The Johnson Park grant that we got for the annex, for the new purchase there 2 or 3 years ago, we did get approval from ODNR to amend our original submittal. So we'll be able to move from a mile walking path around the park to a half mile that will connect the pavilion. It'll go east around the perimeter of the park, and it will spit out over on Gordon Avenue. And that'll make, including that sidewalk, that'll be a half mile lap. that folks can take advantage of. So they've approved that, as well as moving from installing 2 bathrooms to 1 all accessible handicap bathroom. So they've approved all that. We need a couple pieces of documentation we need to send over, and then we'll be ready to pull the trigger on getting that installed this year. And those were our 2 major parts of this year's project: is the concrete pad, the pavilion and bathroom, and the walkway. And then next year we have about 8 months to finish it up, which would be
Playground.
paving the parking lot that's there, that's the fillings
Yeah,
right now,
grinding.
and then putting in the playground with some benches and picnic tables and stuff like that. And then we'll be finished with that project. And that project is due to be done next year
By September
by the
30th.
state. There you go. Water treatment plant. Wanted you to know we got word from Congressman Balderson's office last week that they are going to push our water line replacement project forward. Remember, you might remember that's a $4.9 million ask. The representative that called me said that there's a strong likelihood that we will not get $4.9 million.
We'll take anything.
If it goes through, that exactly. But we should know by the middle of summer what the appropriations amount for the whole, what's available. And then we ought to know, well, technically we ought to know by the time the budget is approved in September, but likely it won't be approved in September. And so we'll probably know more by the end of the year if that money has come to us. So here's kind of the quandary that we're in. The loan we've been approved of through the EPA is for $5 million, and it's for $5 million. So if we move forward, then we're taking a loan out for $5 million.
Well, we got
But
$5
what we
million
can't-
worth of
we-
water lines to replace. I mean,
But we've also now asked for congressional funding for 4.9. Now we know we're not going to get all of that, but do we take out a $5 million loan with the potential that we might get, say, $1 million? So what Mike Crane's doing is he's reaching out to the state and asking if we could take out a loan for just the amount to do Rome side.
Yes.
You might remember Columbia Gas is coming in and replacing all those lines. They're going to pave half the road. And the thought is that if we came through behind them and we replaced the water lines on the other side of the road, we could replace the water lines all over Rome side and then pave the other half of the road, and we'd have a completed section of the village. So what we're really basically asking is can we amend that ask and just take out a loan amount for just that project? So we're still waiting to hear back from the state on that. Tomorrow, continuing water department, tomorrow we have a meeting with V3 concerning the well field. One of those topics of conversation is going to be, what does the potential expansion, if that's what Micro is planning to do, what impact might that have on our well field? Our water source moves east to west, so we are downstream. The aquifer we're downstream from that potential project. So from an engineering perspective, we ought to have some more information. We'd like to have that, of course, before anybody from the village would go over on Thursday and ask. They did offer if we wanted an engineer to attend that meeting as a representative of Baltimore.
Let's just see what they find out first. We got to pay for that.
Okay. So that's water. Wastewater, we're continuing the Jacob study because of some inclement weather, heavy rains. That project will be presented instead of the end of June. That project will be presented to council middle of August. Vibrant Community Grant. If you might remember, we have it's a Vibrant Community Grant is a public-private partnership grant. We're applying for the grant, and we've identified this Landis's property, the historic building here on the corner. It's a public-private grant, so we're the ones that apply for it. And what we're basically saying is we believe that if this property were to be renovated, it would be a catalyst for economic growth in Baltimore and encourage other property owners to invest in their property. We don't have any money in it. we're not on the hook for any money. If it goes south for him, it goes south for him. We're just the ones that are putting the application in, and we're working with Hicks Partners to do that. They did get approved, and this has been true for a few months, for quite a few months. They are finishing up their feasibility study, and I think he did put something out on social media about what people would like to see in there. So once that feasibility study wraps up, he'll know more as far as cost and stuff about what he's willing to invest into that project and to see if it moves forward. Yeah.
Call that he was getting, is this the same grant we talked about, he was talking about offices in that building before. Is that?
So I guess, before me, this started off and it kind of died because at the time he wanted to do mixed use with residential on the top floor, and the Vibrant Community Grant did not at that time allow for that. There have been some changes in the grant structure, in the grant law, or however that's worded, to allow a mixed use.
Oh, okay.
So his interest is, first floor, either office, restaurant, small retail, and then the second floor would be
Okay.
apartments. Yep. And then last but not least, the CDBG Critical Infrastructure Grant that we send in a pre-application. This is the 725-foot water line that goes in front of the fire department, the school, and hits like 87 different residents. We went to a public hearing on, I think, 2 weeks ago for that. We answered some questions before Regional Planning Commission, and they've decided to put our project before the commissioners for a vote. And the cool thing is, Critical Infrastructure Grant, even if the commissioners vote on it, or Regional Planning Commission votes on it, it's still competitive. They recategorized our application and made it an allocation. So once the commissioners vote on that, they vote May 19th. Once they vote to approve, which we're hoping they do, then that money's ours. There's no competition, which I thought was a very big solid from Regional Planning Commission. So we'll have more information on that hopefully on May 19th as to whether or not that project gets funded. And that's all I have, unless there's questions.
This is just I was walking this morning and there's a fence going up the corner of High Street and Washington, and I wondered if there had been a permit on it. It's that new house. Well, it's the old Bromschreiber house that burnt down and they rebuilt.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll definitely look into that tomorrow. Okay.
Park and Recreation Board.
There's nothing to really talk
Nothing?
about. Nope.
Baltimore Downtown Recreation.
I don't really have anything at this time.
Old business. New business. Next meeting will be second Monday of June, June 8th, 6:30, or immediately following the Finance Committee. Get a motion to adjourn.
Forward makes a motion to adjourn.
McLean second.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Aye. New shirt.
That's pretty cool. That's like a,
I'm sorry? Oh, yes.
I never liked pocket tees until now.
cause yeah, cause it would just like slide over.
Bet you didn't.
It matches. My shorts are Wrangler. My shirt's Wrangler. These are Wrangler.
I don't appreciate being pointed at in the middle of a meeting like that.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, we will. And we will make this.
Can you imagine?
You're a physical terrorist, not
Yeah.
terrorist, right? You mean like a fence?
What did King found in that cover we had $75 permit for landscape. Landscape. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, put me in the poorhouse.
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So why would you
I'll tell her you
not want
said
to, why would you not want to?
Oh, my wife goes by there all the time. She says, look at those flowers.
Like, I wish I could get her, she's out there
Every day
skating
water,
501.
I gotta get some,
Is she for hire?
Right now, I've heard it.
I guess some water irrigation, like drip irrigation.
I can order it on stock.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the warehouse.
She's out there watering every night. I'm like, we should get her some drip irrigation. She's out there. On a hose.
Yes, all right.
House looks beautiful.
Get everybody in here.
7 o'clock.
They'll work their way in.
Yes, we're going to. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brian, could I get a roll call, please?
Carroll. Foreman.
Here.
McCreary.
Present.
McLean. Phillips.
Here.
Schaffner.
Can I get an approval and a motion for the approval of the minutes of April 27, 2026 council meeting?
Foreman makes a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Any discussion? May I get a roll call on that?
Foreman.
Yes.
Carroll. McCreary.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Foreman makes a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
McCreary seconds.
Can I get a roll call on that, please?
Foreman.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Carroll. McLean.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
As far as visitors go, Mr. Hamilton, looks like you're on the visitors list. Would you like to speak?
Yes.
Sign in while you're out there. Thanks for having me. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. I'm Shane Hamilton with the Baltimore Festival. I'm the director, actually, of the festival. I'm here today. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. I'm here today to give the the village my proclamation letter for the use of the festival for August 6th, 7th, and 8th this year. I've got some papers I'm going to pass out. It's just a letter asking for use of the park grounds, the shelter house, and asking to bring the festival trailer over on July 26th, which is Sunday before the festival to set up. This year is the 250th year, obviously, but the 50th year for the Baltimore Festival. After going through records of many different people, we've found an error on our behalf, and it actually is the 50th year now. Not just the festival, but the firefighters and things like that. So it's all combined into 50 now. Basically, we'll start off with the community pep rally on August the 6th from the Liberty Union cheerleaders. Then after that, we will have a free movie on a big screen. The Little Giants is going to be playing, and free popcorn is going to be passed out from Now Church. I'm going to be doing that. Obviously, we have a car show on Friday with the Aftermath band also playing during the car show. The 5K run is on Saturday as usual, with the grand parade also at 10:30. And then obviously we have a couple bands on Saturday with the closing band of the local Hillbilly Deluxe is coming back this year.
Good.
think we've got. Oh, we're also asking for to have the beer garden again. I know last year that was kind of a new trial thing for us, which I think did pretty well. I mean, it wasn't rowdy like our neighbors down the road. So we'd like to do that again also, and have a cornhole tournament during that event also.
Do we have to do what do we have to
We'll
do?
do a resolution,
Oh,
I'll prepare
okay.
a resolution, bring it to the next council meeting.
That's fine.
It's usually passed in plenty of time for
Correct.
you to set up and all
Okay.
of that.
Okay. And I'll also have my insurance to you prior to all this, going on like we do in the past.
Perfect.
Super.
So I think that's it. Just our car show. We do have some new dash plaques this year.
Good.
That I've designed up, and so we'll be giving those this year. So I'm sure we'll be interested in seeing those.
Well, that's a big car show. I think there was like
I can get 130 there.
yeah, but that was
that's pushing it.
Pushing it, but there was about that many the last 2 years. So.
Correct. I think that's really the only thing that I had to ask. Oh, so I heard earlier when I was on the hallway, you're putting sidewalks in the park. Where is that going to interfere with the festival or anything down the
I don't
road
know
as
that
far as
we'll-
where they're going to be at?
No, they're going
it's
to be
gonna
on the outside.
It's going to be where the new parking lot, the parking lot
In the back.
No, when you come in across from the pool,
Okay.
there's going to be a pavilion built there.
Okay.
And then the walking path will be from there, the perimeter of the park, to Gordon Avenue.
Okay.
So it
so
shouldn't do
won't affect
anything
me.
with it. No.
No.
Okay. I noticed there's going to be some trees put in too. I think I seen somewhere.
They
I thought
put-
I seen Steve talking about some trees.
Yeah, they already put the trees
Okay.
in.
Are those going anywhere?
They're
affecting
between
me?
the Diamond One and the pool.
Not affecting me then.
No.
Okay. Thank you, because I know
No.
that's kind of a
Nope.
thing in the past.
No, I mean, it's got to be left open just because it's the way it's all set up.
Correct.
Not for just the
Oh,
festival,
I
but
understand.
the park
Correct.
in general.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
Yeah, kicking any dead chickens out of the road this year.
No chickens out of the road. I did break my back last July, and I'm still off work because of that. So I think I'm going back to the surgery center if you ask me. Yeah, it's been a nightmare.
Are the Muffins doing the baseball thing again
Nope,
this year? No?
not this year. Nope,
Okay.
nope. I think they've kind of gone away from doing that, honestly. I know last year we talked about it, and they didn't want to do it last year.
Oh.
I think that was the reason.
Any other questions? Okay.
Wow, that was easy.
We'll get you. We'll get
Okay.
you fixed up.
You guys got my
Shane.
number. I'm
Yeah.
sure my number's around here
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere. And
We'll
there's
get
an
you.
email list on there also. So yeah.
We'll get you fixed up.
Okay,
Shane.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to stick around with my back, so I'm
Yeah.
out.
You
Go.
mean those comfortable chairs?
Oh no. There's
Ron, what are you talking about Taylor Swift back there?
Well, I just wonder if he's able to get Taylor Swift.
Well, no, we want to have people come to the festival.
I don't think Taylor's gonna come.
We want to have people come to the festival, not stay away.
Does any other visitors want to speak at the council meeting?
Unless you guys have more questions for me, right?
No, Matt took good notes, and we're going to go through each one of those.
Yeah, off the wall though, I think you guys need to think about a drone ordinance that we talked about before, but because right now anybody can fly a drone and look in your house, and it's not against the law. So each village or city or municipality has to pass an ordinance that states that you're not allowed to fly a drone and look at your neighbor's property.
I didn't know that was a thing here.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There's no state law,
Nope.
nothing like that?
No,
Nope.
it sounds
State
like.
law says you're free to go.
Well, we'll talk about that. Jim.
So just something popped
Sounds
in
like
my
a
head.
rules meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, or safety.
Either one, they're both next
yeah.
Next
a
month.
month and a half
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Put that on the agenda for one of those for sure. All right. If nobody else, we'll go into village reports. I really don't have much of anything other than I'm going to circle back to this. For 2 years, it's been pretty kumbaya with all of us. I feel like we can get through this builders thing, all of us, and come to a good agreement. And I'm saying it out loud that I think we can, all of us meet in the middle somewhere. And that's all I got to say about it. Matt's going to do his homework, and when we come back, we'll have some information for everybody, and we'll get through that. The only other thing that I have. Do I need
During
to-
motions.
Yeah, during motions.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up during my report.
Okay, I gotcha. So, well, I'll just say it. So we had 3 vehicles, Brian's gonna bring it up too, that we weren't using. A couple of them are pretty junky, but they're gonna have an auction. We're gonna try to sell a couple of the ones, like that old police Tahoe that's kind of pieced together, it wasn't pieced together when the chief gave it to us, but it's seen better days. There's a couple vehicles I'd like to sell, and then we're gonna take the money and put it back into the water budget, Brian, is that correct?
Yeah, it depends on where the money was purchased.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's just gonna create a little bit of, but we're gonna do it, at an auction just to try to get rid of them. And really, I don't have anything else. Village Administrator, do you have anything?
I don't have anything to add to my report.
Mr. Fiscal Officer?
The motion that we're gonna need tonight. Jeff, do we need a motion to cancel Mondays, 2 weeks from, the meetings from two? Yeah, we'll need a motion for that. Okay. Also, we'll need a motion to sell at the auction a 2011 Chevy Tahoe, the 2010 Ford Escape, and the 2012 Ford Transit Connect.
So if we make a motion and we all vote on it and it passes, then we're good to go, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We can just do that motion right now.
Yeah, will somebody make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
All right.
Can I get a
Okay, so-
vote on that then?
Well, hold on.
I didn't follow who made the motion.
I
Jamie
didn't
made the
either.
motion.
Jamie made it, Gar seconded it.
Gar seconded it.
And Brian, just for clarification, 2011 Chevy Tahoe,
Yes.
2010 Ford Escape.
Yes.
In 2012 Ford Transit.
Ford Transit, yes.
Yep.
Now, if that come to find out, we between now and then we'll have to make a trip to the title office to get the title for the Ford Escape. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
So other than that,
That's fine.
okay.
Okay.
Roll call.
Carroll. Phillips.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Schaffner. McCree.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, well, you'll let Jeff take care of the other.
Well, they can do it now.
Oh, you can do it now.
Motion now to cancel the May 25th meeting.
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
have a
Foreman makes a
motion?
motion that we cancel the May 25th meeting due to Memorial Day.
Barry seconds.
Any discussion on that? Okay. Can I have a vote on that, please, Brian?
Foreman.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
McLean.
Yeah.
Phillips.
Yes.
Carroll.
All right, next thing would be, is there a solicitor report? Mr. Faco?
No new legislation, no second reading, 3 ordinances on for third reading, self-explanatory, they all have sponsors, no tabled ordinances. I would ask for a motion to go into a brief executive session at the end of regular business to discuss pending litigation. Everybody at the table's invited, with the exception of Councilmember McLean, and that's all I have.
Okay.
Can we make that motion now?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Foreman seconds.
Point of
Carol.
order. I request that the motion state the specific statutory basis for my exclusion under Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22, the Open Meetings Act, and identify the specific subject matter and personnel involved.
Sure, it has to do with pending litigation that was filed against the village by Councilmember McLean, and there are ethics opinions that prevent him from participating in any discussion or voting regarding that litigation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Village Council.
Hold on,
We
wait.
need a roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Carroll.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Do I call McLean?
Abstain.
Okay. Schaffner.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to go to village committee reports, finance.
We met tonight, Mayor, and everyone on council was at the meeting, so no need to revisit.
Yes, sir. Service.
We met, no reason to revisit it either.
Safety.
We did not meet tonight, Mayor. We will meet June 22nd following, well, I guess actually we go first now, don't we?
Yeah.
No.
Switched. No?
Rules is first.
Okay.
It's just not switched on this.
Okay, okay, so we will be following the rules. No, it's June 22nd.
And rules.
We did not meet tonight, but we will be meeting as well on June 22nd at 6 o'clock, if needed.
And police department.
Just normal stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. Been a little bit busier than usual, but nothing's major really. Still working on the buildings. Get close, the solar was all hooked up today for the lighting, so the interior lighting is all solar powered. So, just working on punch list stuff now.
Well, that's,
Little tiny things.
I mean, the state paving this road has really made it traffic a little crazy in through the village.
Yeah, we did have a guy hit today, out, construction worker got hit, right before the meeting. He's okay, didn't get hurt really, but, he refused treatment, the guy left the scene.
Hit him and left.
We know who it is, and they're at the house now, so we've already tracked him down. So. But other than that, yeah, it's gonna be a mess for the next couple of days, and for probably the rest of the week.
Yeah, I think they plan on being through town by Friday is what it says, as long as the weather holds out. So that there's just traffic everywhere.
Basel Street.
Yeah, I mean, you said that, and then my wife said the same thing out on 256. She said she'd never seen so many semis. They were trying to avoid this route is what they were trying to do.
It was constant,
Yeah.
back and forth today.
A lot
Yes.
of people are using the bypasses to go up the Rolling Road and
Yeah.
cut out that way, so.
Yes.
That was all big talk around town today.
Yes.
Bypass routes. So.
I used it.
And we have reports of jaywalking by the Pint House too, so just to be aware of.
Open up our patrols downtown.
Basel Joint Fire District Board.
Thanks, John.
Nothing. Okay. All right. Village committees and commissions, planning and zoning. I think the meeting is Thursday night. Is that correct? There's one or two things to talk about there, and we'll have a report at the next council meeting. Tree commission. I don't believe there's anything really to report other than that they did plant some trees. Records commission. I assume there is nothing.
Nope.
And the
We're waiting on dates from Jeff.
motions we went through already, correct?
I have no other motion.
Okay. If we go to ordinances and resolutions, we're going to go, there are no first, there are no second. There is a third. Ms. McCurry is the sponsor. It's ordinance 2026-12, an ordinance amending section 618, animals off the codified ordinances.
Yes, Mayor, this is an ordinance that really just helps kind of clean up some verbiage, and it basically talks about farm animals in the village and chickens and stuff.
Yes.
So I move to adopt ordinance 2026-12.
Foreman seconds.
Any discussion on that? If there's no discussion, can we go to a vote on that, please, Brian?
Curry,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll, Phillips,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along, ordinance 26-14, an ordinance to amend chapter 1004, the trees of Baltimore, codified ordinance to delete the chapter. Ms. McCurry, you are the sponsor on that.
Again, this is just an ordinance that we want to clean up, and so I move to adopt ordinance 2026-14.
Okay,
Foreman seconds.
can we get a vote on that, please, Brian?
Discussion.
Discussion.
Okay. McCurry,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll, Phillips,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Okay, the third and final is ordinance 2026-15, an ordinance amending 452.16 of the Baltimore codified ordinances, parking prohibited prohibited on certain streets and the traffic control map to provide for no parking on a portion of Company Street. Now, it says and the declaration of an emergency. Ms. Schaffner, will you speak to that, please?
Yes, this is for Company Street. There's an issue with people parking and the fire department cannot get into certain sections. So I would go ahead and make a motion to adopt.
Form in seconds.
Any discussion on that?
I have one question. The declaration of an emergency, what does that mean?
Takes effect immediately.
Without a 30-day implementation?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, but typically as a matter of courtesy, the police department usually not issue citations immediately. They'll give warnings. And to make certain that everybody's aware, okay, this is a no parking area. I don't want to speak for the chief, but that's been practice for years.
Well, and it's the main reason for this is to get the fire trucks up there. So,
Thank you.
if there is no other discussion, could I have a roll call or a vote on that, please, Brian?
Schaffner,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Carroll. McCreary,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
All right, there are no tabled ordinances. Does anybody have any old business? Does anybody have any new business? Would any of the visitors like to speak before we excuse everyone?
Okay.
Okay.
Executive session.
Yeah.
Were we gonna come back and discuss this, Mayor?
You know what? We'll discuss it. I guess I really don't have the information on it though, because they're meeting about it tomorrow. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome to go to that meeting.
Where is it?
It's at Thurston in their municipal building. It's at 7.
I did go to school.
So did I. So did I. It's at 7. Is that right, Jamie?
Okay, we're going to
Six.
entering
Mr.
executive
Faco,
session
if
at
all- if, like,
7:22
several of us attend that
If
meeting
we return
tomorrow concerning the
with some voting.
Thursday.
We will
Thursday.
Yeah.
turn on the.
Like, I know we're not really supposed to be in like
Feed.
the same room together.
But it's